Every time I use this ride cymbal, I get a ton of questions about it. Now, I have been a bit hesitant to make this video, mainly because I wanted to find another one for myself first, which I finally did. I am a bit scared to open it though. Well, I'm not scared to open it, I'm just scared it's not going to sound exactly like the one I have. So before we get into that one, let's take a closer look at this one. This cymbal is from Goodwill, actually. At the same time that those Ludwig standards were listed that I got, there was a pearl fiberglass kit that was listed as well, which I planned on buying too. But a buddy of mine was like, hey, I saw you won the auction for those standards, let me buy those pearls. So I let him get those, and that kit came with a bunch of stuff, including a bunch of cymbals, and this was one of them. I don't know exactly what this is, but it's 22 inches, it's made of brass, and there's a Japan stamp on the inside of the bell. If I had to guess, someone added these hammer marks to it. But the worst part about the cymbal is there's a massive keyhole on it, which isn't a huge deal as long as you take care of it. But what's worse than that is there are two tiny little cracks which have since started to grow. So now I'm kind of scared that that chunk will kind of just blow out over time and will render this cymbal useless. So of course I wanted to find another one before this thing gets destroyed, and it's part of the reason I haven't really played it. But finding one of these is basically impossible. I know Lance Campo just got one. I'm not sure if it's exactly like this one or not.
I think rdavidr has a brass cymbal that's very similar to this, so I'm pleased to have gotten my hands on one here.
Then there was a drum shop on Instagram that had one listed on their story. I think it was a 20-inch, but of course I was too late and I missed out on the listing. There was an 18-inch Crash on Facebook, which again, I was too slow. But I did find a set of 12-inch hi-hats, so I bought those just so I could kind of better understand the cymbals and how they sound, because this is the only one I've ever played. But those hi-hats sound like garbage. Luckily, about a week ago, I saw this one for sale, and I knew if I didn't buy it now, it would be like a billion years until I found another one, so of course I had to buy it. I paid $100 for it. I know it's not exactly the same as this one. The new one is branded Apollo, which this one has no branding on it other than the Japan stamp. So I don't think they'll sound exactly the same, but hopefully it sounds just as cool as this one. So let's finally dive into that box. All right, let's do this. Oh my gosh, why did they have to use peanuts? Okay, it's definitely a 22. There is a bit more hammering than on the other one. Also, on the 12-inch hi-hats I had, it had a smaller hole, and this one is a smaller hole, so I'll probably have to drill that out so it fits on a stand. And just from like touching it and like hearing that, it does sound very similar to the other one, so that gives me some hope. All right, let's drill this thing out. I have the trusty step bit. Typically, center holes on cymbals are 1/2 of an inch, so let's make this a little bit bigger. Nice and smooth. Okay, so a quick comparison of these two cymbals. The Apollo definitely has more hammering than the old one. The Apollo is a bit lighter, coming in at 1959 grams, while the old one is 2213 grams. The finish on the Apollo is a bit more rough and more like a traditional cymbal, while the old one, it's like it's been polished at some point because it's a lot more smooth. Then the profile of the Apollo is a bit flatter and doesn't have as much as a curve as the old one. And also you can really see it here. The Apollo has this like flat spot around the bell. It's like a plateau almost. The cymbal bows up, it's flat, and then there's the bell. And the old one also kind of has that spot. It's just not as flat as the Apollo. So with all that out of the way, let's throw these on the kit.